Hey guys, welcome back to shop. Today we've got my Mahindra 4025 in the shop here today. Mine is a four-wheel drive model, but this process should be the same on the two-wheel drive model as well. But today it's time for the oil change procedure, and I thought it'd be a good idea to show you guys just how to locate the oil drain plugs, and there's actually two of them you have to take loose just to make sure you get all the old oil out of there, and how to get the Mahindra factory oil filter off of there. I've heard some stories that the things can be very, very tight. So this is a new tractor to me. So anytime I get something new like this, a new piece of equipment, I like to put brand new fluids of every kind in there, but I'm fixing to have to put it to work. So to start with, we're going to have to go ahead and put the 15W40 Rotella is what I got. So my tractor came with this filter here just as an extra or as a spare. So we're going to install this oil filter. It's a factory Mahindra brand. I'm told you can go down to Napa, and supposedly you can order filters from Napa for Mahindra. So check into that. But anyways, we're going to show you how to do this. And that way, whenever it's time for your maintenance, you'll be able to do what you need to do here. It shouldn't be that hard. You're going to need a 1 1/8 inch wrench. You can't get a socket in there. It's such tight quarters, you can't actually get a socket in there, and it looks like you're only going to be able to turn the thing about maybe a quarter of a turn at a time. So it's going to be a little bit of a trick to get that out, and I'm using my creeper obviously and a drop light mainly just to show you guys what's up. Also, you're going to need an oil catch pan just so that you can catch all the 2 gallons of oil that's going to come rushing out of this thing. A few minutes ago, I went ahead and ran this tractor for about 5 or 10 minutes just to get the oil warm and circulate it around. That way it'll drain out quickly. At least that's the idea. So we're going to get down underneath here with the GoPro and show you guys how to take the drain plugs loose. The oil fill cap is up here, and we're just going to take that loose. I already had it loose. We're just going to take it loose so we can just kind of have some better flow through there. If it's tight, it will create a vacuum and it might make it drain slower. But anyways, we'll crack that loose like that, and that's where we will fill it up once we get everything drained out and the new filter installed. All right, I'm laying down on the creeper. We're looking straight up. This is obviously part of the front end loader assembly right here. So we're going to slide in right by that, basically right by where that thing sticks down here for an extra accessory, whatever that's for. If you know, let me know down in the comments. But we're going to go up here and past the frame, and hopefully you're seeing. Okay, let me get over here. This bolt right here, that's your drain plug for one side. And then there's another one right over here, right there. Hopefully I'm getting you a shot of it. I can't see it because I don't have enough room there, but there's 2 drain plugs like that, and they're a 1 1/8 wrench. So we're going to try to find a place to set you down here, and then we're going to break these loose. All right, we're going to see how tight these things are on there. Hopefully I can, there we go. Make sure your wrench is seated on there properly. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, now it looks like I can probably take it out the rest of the way by hand. So I'm gonna move this over my oil drain catch pan here. Oh, shit. Okay. So now I'm just going to take this loose and be ready for it. Oil's going to start pouring out of here. Okay, there it goes. Holy moly. That's a lot of oil, a lot of black oil. Oh, my oil drain pan is just barely keeping up with it.
Okay, so we're gonna let that drain for a few minutes. And then when this side stops draining, I'm gonna go break the other side loose and repeat the process. I'm not gonna video that. You can probably get the idea from it by now, but just let it drain out. Look how black that stuff is. So it definitely needed to be changed. As I said, this is a new tractor to me, so I wasn't sure what the oil was gonna look like, but it's certainly ready. So we're gonna put new oil in it. And also just pay attention, you know, what does it look like when it's coming out? I heard one complaint where somebody had a bad head gasket or something, and it was antifreeze at the very bottom to begin with. So watch out for that. You know, you don't want to obviously have a bad head gasket, but this can tell you different things about your engine, how it's running, how it's been maintained, and obviously it's time for an oil change. So I'm going to get cleaned up, get to the other side, and repeat the process. I don't think a whole lot will come out like that on the other side. It's just going to be like, I don't know, probably less than a quart will come out on the other side is my guess.
All right, another thing you're going to want to do is when you pull your oil drain plugs out, there's a little magnet on there, so I'm really excited to see that. And mine had just a little bit of black stuff on it, but no metal shaving. So you want to clean that off, wipe it off really, really good, clean the threads up really good while you're waiting for the rest of the oil to drain out. And when you put it back in, your magnet will be nice and clean, and you'll watch this for the health of your engine in the future. If you start seeing a whole bunch of metal shavings, it means a bearing is going bad or something like that. Something catastrophic is happening inside your engine. So this one appears to be in good health.
All right, now we're over on the opposite side of the tractor. I've already got the drain plugs reinstalled. You can see that up there, and the other one on the other side. When you're done with that, take your rag and just kind of wipe everything up so that you don't have any oil drips there, or that makes you think you have any oil drips there later. So it kind of makes a mess on all of this stuff in between there. It'd be nice to be able to like wash it off, rinse it off with a little water if you got that option. That'd be a great thing to do. But next up, what we're going to do is go for this oil filter up in here. So my preferred way to remove oil filters are these things here, these cup things. But this one, it actually fits this filter, but I can't get it to go on there very far. So I'm gonna have to hammer it on there with a rubber mallet. Okay, that looks like about as far as I can go there. So let's see if I can do this. Basically now what we want to do is take our extension and our ratchet and see if we can bust this loose. Okay, I got her moving. Okay, so now that it's loose enough that I think I can do it by hand, I'm gonna move my ratchet and get my light out of the way and get my oil pan in position. And then we're gonna undo it the rest of the way by hand. All right, so now we just can unscrew this and again, be ready. It'll probably start dripping oil really soon. Okay, now we'll get cleaned up and get our new filter ready to spin back on. All right, we got our new filter ready to install, but before we do it, this is a very expensive piece of equipment. My most expensive tool here is this tractor over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some oil straight in here so that the filter is primed up when we start the engine up to go on the first go there. And that's good enough. It doesn't have to be completely tippy-topped, but we want to get it charged up with oil. So I'm just going to take my finger, my clean finger, and get a little fresh oil on there and lubricate that seal all the way around. And all you really need to do is put these on there hand tight, but nice and hand tight, you know.
I personally don't like to crank down on them. I think this is the one thing on this whole entire tractor that actually gets tighter instead of looser. Every other bolt tends to work loose, but this thing is very tight. So when you put it back on, I think hand tight is enough. If you feel like that's not enough, you can put just a little bit more torque on it with your tool that we showed you for taking it off, but I don't think it's necessary. So I'm going to crawl down there and put this filter back in. Just check my bolts, make sure they're nice and snug. You don't want to over tighten those bolts, but you want them tight enough that they smash that, the drain pan bolts, you want them tight enough that they smash that copper seal down a little bit, and so that it seals up. All right, we're ready to fill it up with oil. The best information I could find online said it held about 2 gallons of oil. Dropped my oil plug thing there, my oil jug there. So there's the dipstick, that yellow thing down there. It's on the right front, kind of almost back where the transmission mounts up to the engine. So it's kind of tucked down in there. It's going to be hard to see. Looks like you can actually see the yellow on it from that angle right there. Okay, so far I'm showing nothing. Okay, so far I'm not showing very much on the dipstick at all. I'm going to keep on adding. I've got a whole nother gallon to put in. Okay, I'm going to agree with those people online and say it holds about 2 gallons. We're very close there, and I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of that oil in, and then we'll fire it up and check it. So yeah, guys, that's how you get it done yourself on a 2017 Mahindra 4025. Not very hard. Of course, it's a little bit more difficult than a car just because there's more volume of oil and the filter and stuff like that. It's a little harder to get off because it was so tight. Hopefully it won't be that bad next time now that I've changed it out. So anyways, highly recommend you do this job yourself. You'll save yourself a ton of money and downtime, and it's pretty easy to do. So get out there and get wrenching, and make sure you got 2 gallons of oil when you start this deal, because it's going to take every bit of that. Appreciate you tuning in, and hit the thumbs up if you like this kind of content. And until then, we'll see you next time.